Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday Night Modern here at Top Deck Productions. I'm Jake Valentine, joined by...
Matthew Munier. How's it going, guys?
I'm doing pretty well. Hope you are all doing well. That are tuning in tonight, making this part of your Tuesday evening. Andy Falk on the right, Bant Spirits, Brent Rogers switching up a bit. Grixis control, no humans.
Yeah, switching up a lot, actually. That's a huge jump there from the aggro creature deck to the removal.
Yeah, it's one end of the spectrum to the other in terms of archetypes. Who do you like in this matchup then? I was really interested to see the humans v spirits matchup.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
We don't have that, so
I think Grixis. I like Grixis here.
Why is that?
So you got removal spells, you got counter spells, and you got a couple of threats in there, like your Mega Anglers that can be hard for Andy to deal with.
As a counterpoint to that, I mean, Andy's deck is really good at operating at instant speed and having protection.
It is, yeah.
It's a really good tempo deck that can synergistically kill opponents out of nowhere. RX Fnatic, I am extremely hyped for standard testing tomorrow.
New Santa looks fantastic.
We're going to have myself and Jessica Gibbing on camera, and we're going to have some possibly some surprise guests in the building as well that can swap in and out on camera, talk about the decks they're playing, what's working and what's not working for them, as well as taking care of some viewer suggestions in terms of the archetypes they would like to see. I've been trying to fine-tune Abzan, Grixis. Justin is all about that Jessica deck. Yeah. We'll talk more about this later on, as it's like Brent is shocking. Down to 17. We're going to see a Sartreus Kenta, maybe?
Brent's playing a more like...
No, he's just going to Dreadbore Hierarch.
I'm very curious to see, to know how many Damnations Anger the Gods are in the 75 for Brent. Depending on that number, I think it'll make or break this matchup, probably. Because once Andy goes completely wide, like that's how I see Brent getting back in the game, then resolves his threat, and then I think Brent can just take it away. But the other thing is Andy has flyers, so Brent really doesn't. So his Gurmag Anglers won't be able to block any of that. It's like normally Gurmag Angler has like some of the best trades in the format. It's not going to have that in this match.
I think it all depends on who built this deck. And I know it's weird to say, but Zach Harris usually is pretty big on Anger the Gods out of the board. And this is Zach Harris versus control deck then. He's going to have access to those Angers post-board. Right now, nothing good on for Brent, just 3 mana.
Yeah, personally, I'm a fan of like Angers or like at least 1 Damnation in the main, but I know that's definitely not standard. It's unfortunate, but...
Let's see what Andy has here going into his third turn. Not the ideal start for him.
Yeah.
His Noble died from the Dreadbore.
Yep.
Really aggressive use by that from Brent. And all Andy has to show for it so far is Tentacle Sanctum and a Hallowed Fountain. Of course, Hallowed Fountain not in standard until the winter set, so that's really going to make, as RS Fnatic mentioned, they're interested to see what the Jeskai deck looks like. It's going to be really interesting to see these control decks operate without Hallowed Fountain.
Agreed. I think it's pretty much just known information that blue-white's going to be the more control shell in standard.
Yeah, it's going to be. You're right. And to be fair, it has, as Brent's going to very quickly feel the ruin away the Caviter Souls that name spirits. It's interesting just because, you know, on the one hand, we don't have full access to the 8 duels for blue-white's horses. I mean, we have Mirroring River, or whatever the blue-white tap land is. That's not the guild gate, but still, it's not ideal.
Sure.
Why can't I remember the name of the
Glacial Fortress?
No.
Or the cycle one, Irrigated Farmland?
Yeah, on the one hand, Irrigated Farmland was a tap land, but on the other hand, at least cycled, so you at least get some value out of that. You don't get any value out of the tap land.
And it's also an islands plane, so it means that your check land's coming untapped, which is nice too.
It'd be interesting to see people just straight up run tap lands, or they just go, you know what, I'm just going to splash in my deck because I can afford to. Of course, there's a cost for that. You can't, if you're splashing white, you can't necessarily play Settled Wreckage.
Sure. I think that's one of those big cards, as well as Cleansing Nova. I think it's going to see play.
It's definitely possible. Here's a turn 4 Noble Hierarch.
Which is interesting that we're also removing it, because at this point, Andy can cast all of his spells with the mana he has available through lands, so I don't know if I like this call against
I feel like Brent is just being efficient with his mana.
I mean, Spell Queller, so if we didn't have anything better to do, I suppose, but I don't know, it's just an interesting play overall.
Yeah, well, these players have not had much to do in their early turns. Dreadbore on the Hierarch, and then...
And here's a good turn for Brent, because Andy is tapped out, and that Noble Hierarch is summoning sick, so Brent can get off some good spells here. He could take the lead in the board state, but we'll see.
If he plays a Jace on summon, then that'll be pretty good. I don't think he has a Jace. Nope. Speaking of the devil, he drew the Jace. So, I mean, I like what Brent did there, just because he had the second Collins command in hand. But Jace bounce K command seems really good.
Yeah, well,
he agrees with me, because here we go.
I think we're just going to go for the exact same modes, bolt the Hierarch, or not shock the Hierarch, I suppose, and then make him discard.
Yeah, we're to bounce. We're going to shock, discard.
We're casting the spell. Yep.
Pretty good play there from Brent.
I just there was a bolt backup too, but that might be asking for a little too much. I don't see it there.
At this point, Andy has 0 board state.
Is that
Brent will get to untap
Tasker 2 Colligan's commands? Is that what I'm seeing?
I believe so. At least one of.
Didn't we have the mana for Tasker here?
No, I think he's okay just not playing Tasker.
I mean, sure, but I don't see why not if Andy was tapped out.
You get to at least, you know, threaten, like Spell Pierce or something like that.
Yeah,
bolt.
I agree. I think that's what Brent was thinking. I'm just not sure if I value that more than putting down an actual threat.
I also don't think Brent fully knows what Andy's on. All he's played is Spell Queller and Noble Hierarch. And knowing Andy,
sure, yeah,
that could be literally anything.
Yeah, so normally Andy is playing an infinite combo deck. We see that a lot. Normally it revolves around Devoted Druid. And we do see that green and white package here, which could be Devoted Druid Vizier. So Brent might be thinking that he's on that with a splash of blue for some tempo-y cards, like the Spell Queller, maybe some counter magic, but...
And he's in this weird state where he plays some meta decks, plays some established archetypes, but at the same time, he is not afraid to either play one of his decks or put his own spin on it.
Also, yes, we did also see the Cavern Naming Spirits, and we do see that... the colorless land there that you can pay a blue and a white to make a 1/1 spirit. So I'm pretty sure Brent should know that he's on spirits.
That is sure, yeah. The Cavern should have been the dead giveaway. But sometimes you never know with Andy.
Yeah.
Here's an end of turn Spell Queller.
Right, and we do see this Tasker coming in. We have Electrolyze, Snapcaster Mage, and double Colligan's commands in Brent's hand.
Interesting if Brent's able to protect.
Or is that 2 Colligan's commands? Might just be 1. Oh, it's a Collective Brutality. My apologies.
I believe there's a Electrolyze in there as well, so I don't think he can kill the Spell Queller. Unless he electrolyzes into a removal spell. But,
I don't think he really...
electrolyze into Bolt.
I don't think he really cares right now. Or actually, no, it's going to kill the Jace, so he should care a little bit.
Yeah, I think he cares a little bit, but at the end of the day, is what it is.
Yeah, it's just a meh kind of situation.
And he's deep in the tank, though. You figure, you know, step 1 is kill Jace. I don't know if he's trying
Probably. I mean, we'll see. So this is a good start. So it'll give his spell called a Hexwraith and Puzzle +1. And if that resolves, and it does, it means that Jace is probably just dead no matter what here.
Yeah, okay, so that's a fair heads-up play there by Andy, just to make sure that...
Yeah. I mean, Hexwraith is pretty good against the mostly removal deck.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is, again, why I like to see Damnation in the main, or, you know, I don't know. I just think there's a lot of decks that's really good against.
You just want to make sure that your removal will actually remove creatures. And
unlike Jund, where you're playing a good number of creatures, Grixis plays only a couple of threats, and you're more focused on your Jace the Mind Sculptor. Because you can Damnation with the Jace in play, and then you just have complete control of the board state normally after that.
Yeah, like this Tassiger, sure, it's a threat, but very quickly we see Droxel Captain, Double Spell Queller, and all of a sudden...
Like, I'd rather go to this Tassiger and those 3 creatures over there for Andy. Like, I would do that instantly.
Yeah, Tassiger does not look good in this board state, and Andy's been able to sort of... Not sure if he drew his way out of some awkward flooding, or he just played in a way to...
Looks like Andy only has, like, 1 card left in hand. And here's the Collective Brutality.
I think it's just neg 2, neg 2.
Yes,
so
just
neg 2. 2-mana neg 2, neg 2.
He's valuing his 2 Snapcaster Mages in the Colligan's command here.
I don't blame him.
Tasker getting in there. Yeah, I mean, there's pretty good cards.
The awkward thing here, though, is, like, you can't K-command anything.
Yeah, so what I would have done is I would have escalated to Duress Andy, pitching a Snapcaster Mage and use my Colligan's command to make Andy discard the last card in his hand if I didn't get off the Collective Brutality and get back Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, you at least want to know what Andy's working with, because in this Bant Spirit, he can have so many different things in its speed. Sure, he's already played 2 Spell Quellers, but still.
I mean, there's still, like, what, 4 collecting companies?
Yeah, knowledge is power.
Oh, yeah. And I think that line, regardless, is, it means that you get back to Snapcaster Mage, so it's a free escalate, and then you don't have any other creature in there anyways, and then you get to guarantee discard that card out of Andy's hand.
He's going to do it here. All Andy has is a Flutterstrand, so he's going to lose
he's
a
fine with
Hierarch and the Flutterstrand. So Brent gets to untap.
Yeah, so Andy has a...
another Cohen's command. This is not...
Not ideal.
No.
Andy has a Horizon Canopy here to draw an additional card at the end of Brent's turn. So he might get a Collecting Company deck to just end the game real quick, because Brent's currently at 12 and we have 4 power on the board, and Brent can't do anything about it. Those spell cards have 3 toughness, and all of Brent's spells are just call against commands right now, and those only do 2 damage. So awkward spot for Brent.
Yeah, super awkward. His removal is not lining up with these spell Quellers.
And again, like this Tasker, like normally in most matchups it's really good, but when you're playing against a deck that's only flyers, there's not like it doesn't do anything. You're just trying to race a bunch of flyers, and that's never going to happen. So
to be fair, Andy is at 10. He can go to 8 off of Snap K command, and then there's another K command. That alone is lethal right there. If Andy taps out and draws nothing, he draws an 8th of Vial. That's not what Doctor orders.
So the die is currently a 1/1 Spirit. We're getting the token from currently made it off his land. I forgot the name of that land. Do you recall it?
Your guess is as good as mine on that.
Yeah. All I know is that it's a blue-white. Tap it to make a 1/1 Spirits with flying. Out of Innistrad, I believe.
Correct, he cannot be draws a Supreme Phantasm. That's the name of that card, right? I always forget the name of that card.
Yeah, Supreme Phantasmal. Normally, I think on like last Tuesday, we finally figured that one out.
Yeah.
I think we were calling it like Phantasmal Supreme or something. I don't know. We just got to flip to something.
I feel like this sort of... So he's doing this within the stack, which means the 8th of Vial gets discarded.
Yep.
Supreme Phantasm resolves. Moreland the Haunt is a name Manx off the cross. Supreme Phantom. So I feel like Brent found a line where he flashes in Snapcaster Mage to K command. He did an 8, attack for 4, 2, 6, and do 2 lethal points of damage with another K command for 8. But the Supreme Phantom puts a dent in that.
Yeah.
And now Brent again has Snapcaster and K command. He cannot kill any of these creatures.
Yeah, and he doesn't have enough mana to go call against command, snap call against command.
He could bring back
Brutality, yeah. Or so I mean that's.
But that's not ideal. He just
it doesn't do anything. Well, if he does the drain, he can go up to 8, and then he takes 7 in the air.
So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He only has 6 mana, so he can't.
No. Snapcaster Mage, target Collective Brutality, just do the drain. Brent will go up to 8, and right now Andy only has 7 power on the board, and he can't make another Spirit currently.
That is true.
So he can live, and then if he races here, and I think Andy knows this. So Andy, or no, I mean you just block.
I like to tackle from Brent, tackle with everything, but
Yeah.
Andy blocked, and Andy did just that. He did a very disadvantageous block.
All right, yeah, so Brent can win here. So BC has a call against command plus a Tasker as a total of 6 damage at the end. And Collective Brutality is going to do 2 damage. But Andy won't go all in once he sees the Brutality, I don't think, unless if he has the win.
So the question here is, what do you do if you're Brent? Do you K command or do you Brutality to kill this Supreme? And that's what he's doing. He's got a K command.
I like K command a lot more.
He's going to bring Snapcaster Mage back.
That was also pretty good. Just forcing the block there.
This alone, Ambush Viper.
Yeah.
Plus Testiger is lethal on its own, and he drew a land for the turn.
And regardless, Brent's going to fire in one of those Snapcaster Mages, I believe, because he still has a second one to get that additional burn.
Exactly.
He doesn't have enough mana to play both anyways, so. All right, just 2.
And you just the one. And he realizes he is no longer the beatdown. He needs to be in the defensive position.
And I think he likes his odds with that because he can make a Spirit every turn, so that's pretty good too. In addition to his whatever he draws off the top.
Brent did not bring in the Ambush Viper. Creeping Tar Pit is a big game.
Yeah, that's going to end it real quick. Get in for 4. Before blocks, make a token, probably block with it. Oh, wait, what do we got? A flashback? Or no, wait.
He's got an exile a card with the Moreland Haunt.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But here's the interesting thing. There's 4 power in the air for Andy currently.
Yes, yeah, total 5.
There's Moreland Haunt on your screen. Exile a creature. Here's the awkward thing that Brent is now realizing. This attack is now completely pointless because he's just dead.
Yeah, because he allowed Andy to block.
No, not
or no, wait, he didn't. Never mind.
No, it didn't matter. He didn't.
He had 4 in the air, yeah.
Like, he had, so his play there would have been to not flashback K command. The blocker there I feel like is irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's annoying, but not.
So if we get back Collective Brutality, we could drain and then survive, potentially.
Yeah, that was...
That was the line.
That was the line, especially drawing the Creeping Tar Pit. All he had to do was get Andy to the point where he does it, where if you're Brent and you draw a Creeping Tar Pit, your goal is to live as long as possible.
Yeah.
And...
because the Tar Pit's going to get there eventually, right?
Yeah, Tar Pit. I mean, you only had 1 turn to do it. All he had to do was survive to swing back. And... I don't know. I mean, it was this weird back and forth game, I feel like, where nothing happened early on, and then Brent seems to get control of the Jace play, and then Andy took advantage, and then Brent tried to wrangle it back, and Andy just had the Flyers. As you mentioned, Tassiger, Grimmack Healer, not good against Flyers.
So hopefully, yeah, so we definitely see, it looks like only 2 Angers, a Fatal Push, and is it Staticaster for Brent?
If you're Brent, what do you bring in here?
Those 4 cards.
Those 4 cards, what do you take?
Well, those are the ones that he's looking at right now. I think we can trim on Tassiger. Or, actually, I would trim on Grimmack first and then leave in Tassiger. Tassiger is better late game, so if you can stabilize, it'll get you back in. And it looks like he's trimming on... Wait.
As a counterpoint to that, though, if you're taking out those cards, how do you win?
Well, I mean, like, thin on them. We're not taking out all of them. And then you still have Jace as an alternate win condition, and then you have Creeping Tar Pit. Like, you still have ways to win, but...
It's not going to be... slow and steady to win the race is what you're saying here.
Yeah, so I think that's more what he's looking at. And I can't see what cards are. It looks like he's taking out Colligan's Commands, which I think he saw. Like, it's not great, but it might be better than he thinks. Just being able to... Yeah, there's so many options on that card, right? So you can either do 2 damage, you can make them discard, you can get back a Snapcaster Mage. I mean, like, all very good things. Or you can blow up an artifact. So if he has, like, Aether Vial start and then, like, little to no lands, like, that could just win you the game, blowing up that Aether Vial. But I don't know if Brent thinks it's worth it. I'm not sure if I do either, but...
It could be results-oriented thinking there, where his K commands were terrible, and he drew a lot of them.
So he only took out 1 K command. He also took out a Dreadbore and a Mana Leak, and I couldn't see the 4th card. And he's bringing in 1 is a Staticaster, 2 Anger of the Gods, and what was the other card?
I didn't get the best look at it either.
Sorry, I said it earlier, but...
Fatal Push? Or
yeah, it was a Fatal Push. And then we couldn't see anything that was happening over on Andy's sideboard, but...
But it's a surprise that he's at Fatal Push in the sideboard. That's such a good card in this Grixis deck, and it's going to be... And I've noticed doing standard testing, I'm going to miss Fatal Push a lot.
Yeah.
We have a question for him. It's educational. Did you all see Worlds? So... I joke around all the time that I was not aware Worlds was happening this past weekend.
Yep. I actually wasn't actually not aware until I saw a bunch of posts about it, but...
I did not watch Worlds.
I did not either.
Just because it's to me. So for those who don't know, Jerry Thompson, the morning of, decided, announced he is boycotting Worlds just because Wizards is not doing enough for the pros, and we can debate as much as you want about whether or not they should pay them, whether or not the prize support's there. If anyone wants to know my feelings of that, let me know in chat, and I will rant about it for the entire night. But the biggest thing is that you didn't know Worlds was taking place. Star City, on their page on Monday morning, had more of a presence of what happened at Worlds with Team Ultimate Guard winning, featuring Owen Turtonwall, who's a Star City premium writer. That's why that image was shown. Then Wizards did on their own website. Wizards did virtually no promotion. Their entire social media channel the week leading up to Worlds was Ravnica spoiler, Ravnica spoiler, Ravnica spoiler. Oh, by the way, Worlds is taking place, Ravnica spoiler. Even if you go on the Pro Tour Twitter right now, there's nothing. There's just the same old generic post about, hey, here's what happened. By the way, here is a recap of an event that happened after the results of the thing we're about to tell you. It just didn't come off as important, which is wrong because Worlds is very important. Red Black did 1 standard, but the other thing too is the standard season is dead. It's dead. It's done.
Yep.
We had the full spoiler. We've had the full spoiler since Wednesday of last week. No one cares
real quick,
about
we
standard
see
anymore.
Dull Anger from Brent, and only 2 lands though, with a Sorcerer's Cast, I believe. So if he gets that 3rd land, he could be cruising here. But there is a Mausoleum one there could counter that. So it'll be interesting. It's also tough to get Angers through, I think, just with spell close and all that.
Yeah, the Wanderer could counter the Anchor. It's not going to counter the Search though, just because he can't.
Yeah, it's only instant sorcery.
But yeah, there was no promotion for Worlds. It featured a unofficially dead format in Standard, as well as an officially dead format in Dominaria Limited. The rock thing is they had the product for Guilds of Ravnica because the Team Series tournament was Guilds of Ravnica sealed. They had no problem doing that, but they couldn't. I don't know. If you want to hear my full rants about Worlds, just let me know and I will go off.
Yeah, we could do like in between rounds or something, but it was very interesting. A lot going on there, I think. Or actually, like nothing going on, I suppose.
I watched far more of SCG than I did Worlds.
Yeah.
Pretty good start here from Andy. He has the Supreme Phantom to pump the Mausoleum Wanderer.
The 1, the 2, and we'll probably see a 3-drop coming in. Actually, is that 5 lands?
For Andy?
Or wait, it's like... There's at least 3 lands there. Wait, Aina might be like completely flooded here. We're doing anger
and he
immediately.
very quickly counters it.
Interesting. Do you
He
think
has a
it's worth
Drogsoul
it?
Captain, so it's not quite flooded.
Sure.
There's a Rest in Peace.
Okay,
that
off the top.
is a very good. He has the Drogsoul Captain Rest in Peace.
Real quick, do you think that anger was worth it from Brent?
Yeah, you can't let this deck get out of control if you're Brent, just because it gets to a point where the spirits get so big that they get out of
Sure.
range. So it's educational. The way the channel works is we stream live Magic 4 nights a week. Modern on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Standard on Wednesday, starting at 6-ish Eastern of those 4 nights. For example, tonight is Modern.
Yep.
Also part of the Modern League at our host store, GameSwap Mason.
And we're also doing the giveaway tonight.
That is true. At 10 o'clock, we're giving away a Rashad port.
Yep.
Wednesday, tomorrow, we're doing some standard testing, and Thursday some Modern, and Friday some FN and Modern. Living into pre-release all weekend as any plays a Drogsoul Captain. There's not any particular decks that we run. We're just running the events that our store, the host store, GameSwap Mason has. So.
I think he's asking about the standard play testing.
After the testing,
literally anything and everything. Like
pretty much, yeah. I have
here we're trying to do like absolutely everything. Like get as much information on all the decks possible.
For like personally, I have Abzan, Sultai, Runner Green, and Boros Stompy all ready to go for tomorrow probably. As far as Jerry Thompson, I'm not. Someone did the math about how much other gaming pros makes, and it is just a night and day difference. I'm going to say this, and if anyone wants to bring Roman Def, just let me know. I do not get why nobody sponsors a Grand Prix or a Pro Tour or World. I don't get why no one sponsors that. I also don't think Wizards can add 2 Pro Tours to the season as Andy gets in there for more chip damage with the Supreme Phantom has another Wanderer in play. Looking pretty good for Andy to take care of Brett's second Anger of the Gods. But I don't agree with Wizards going, we added 2 Pro Tours and that counts as increasing the prize pool for the pros. We're done. Our hands are clean. I don't agree with Wizards saying, well, World's information is on the front page. You just have to find it. I just don't get why they don't have more sponsors. That. You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay Platinum Pros under the wage. And it goes. I gotta say too, Jerry Thompson is in the position he is in to boycott just because he makes so much money doing the other things he does, whether it's the game podcast, the SCG content. He has properly branded himself as someone that he doesn't need to play Magic. There are so many Platinum Pros that don't do that. There's a reason why so many Platinum Pros have full-time jobs. This is a Cole Bolas from Brent, meanwhile?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Brent. A man after my own heart. Nicole Bolas the Ravager.
But it's not a siege rhino though, so.
There's not a secret of a man.
Didn't quite make it to Jake's heart, but you know, he got close.
But in Grixis, this is...
Yeah, dude, I like it.
I love it, and I want some more of it.
Dude, the card's good, man. Let's see
Card's good. There's a reflector mage. So that is a awkward catch-22 here. On the one hand,
G.
Is that just game?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be game. There's an angel coming in too. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So Brent's down to 2. Yeah, it's game. Good job, Nicol Bolas. You tried.
He draws uploaded Delta. So how big is his Mausoleum Wonder? Hold the phone here.
It's a...
Is it a 2-power?
Yeah.
This anger just wipes the board clean then, right?
Yes.
Okay, so hold the phone. We're not done yet. And then, after that, Brent gets to replay Bolas. Oh, boy.
Here it is.
Here's the anger. And he says, I'm going to make you pay the 2. Brent says, okay, I'll fetch down to 1 because 1 is not 0.
He has to have the basic here, which he should.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely. There it is. The beautiful, unstable, basic island.
Come on. You want to know how many basics I run?
And a surprise, Brent has the basic.
6.
Brent says he has 6 basics. I mean, I'm surprised there's the basic. I'm just like, he just has to have it. Like, there's an obvious chance that he could just have it in his hand or something, but... Children's card game. What?
So regarding the whole quote-unquote professional children's card game, I find it mind-boggling that some of the most vocal proponents of people saying that Wizards should better support the professional scene is saying that phrase at the same time. Here's the way I see it.
Nicol Bolas is back in.
If you're going to say that Magic is that your ball is back in and ready to flip too, if you're going to say that Wizards is a quote-unquote professional card game, then I feel like you can make the same assumption that video games are a quote-unquote children's game. And I realize that in terms of like popularity and support from the brand, that Magic and Dota 2 are completely different things. Having said that, Dota 2 just had a $25 million prize pool tournament.
Yep.
If Wizards wants to be taken seriously as someone in the esports scene, doing what they're doing now is not going to work. I'm not saying that they have to directly pay the pros themselves. All I'm saying is that if Wizards wants to be taken seriously as an esport, they need to follow through with it.
And he's on a 7. Nicol Bolas, get in there.
Bolas
I like
is doing work. And I'm sorry, Brent has some serious.
Yeah, I like not flipping here. We have
he
Snap Cryptic.
He has Snap Cryptic with a Cryptic in the bin. He has 2 Snaps, 1 Cryptic, and 1 Cryptic in the bin. There's no way Brent is losing this game. That's the power.
It should be sealed up.
It's the power of Pine Salt, baby.
And here's Wanderer. That's the lethal threat right there.
That is technically a lethal threat. Is Brent just going to snap Cryptic this?
No. Snap, snap.
He's a snap push.
Okay. Oh, yeah, snap, push, snap. Then you have lethal attack. All right, wait. Is Nicol Bolas a 4-4 or 5-4?
4-4.
Okay, 4-4. Yeah, so you're not quite lethal here, but...
I think that whether there's a path to exile and... Oh, no, Brent cannot... Oh, Brent... Oh, no. Brent has tapped
You tapped too many blue sources.
Did he...
Yep.
He tapped Water Grave for that Fatal Push, didn't he?
Yep. Water Grave instead of the Blood Crypt.
Brent has realized the error of his way.
Double Island for the snap. You could have used Mountain Island. Rip.
It's important to tap your mana properly, boys and girls.
That's funny.
But so I feel like regarding of where people stand on the quote-unquote professional child's game debate for esports in general, there is very clearly a market for it.
I told you I run a lot.
Like, there's a reason why Blizzard and Valve and everyone else have invested so heavily in esports. There's a reason why the Overwatch Arena and League exist. There's a reason why some pretty big name people and companies...
Wait, he can't get Lily off activation with Surge.
Yes, he can.
He can?
As can't as any non-land card. Any non-creature card.
My mistake.
No creature, non-land.
I thought it was in sorcery. My bad. Down 5.
I feel like regardless of how you feel about, esports or anything of the sort, there is very clearly a market for it, and there's a reason why so many... what's the right word to say here?
Snap Bolt immediately from Brent. That was on that spell clock coming nice for this.
Capable publishers and game designers and developers are doing well with it.
Game 3?
Game 3. Really good play there by Brent.
Almost.
Brent, thank you.
There was like a
follow, by the way. Brent realizing the most important
thing about Magic. There's a slip up there.
1 is not 0.
Yeah.
That was on display there.
Also, tap your mana.
By the way, Matt, you're young.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this whole esports thing? Because
from Wizard, like just in
general, because as in tune as I've always been with, I'm not talking about just in general, because as in tune as I've been with video games my whole life. I'm 31, so this is still. I have not grown up with my games having esports in them.
Sure.
You have. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about esports as a concept in general?
I think it's really good. I mean, like, there's tons of support for it, and just in general, like if you're a fan, like the games, like most people, I would say, I don't know, probably like 75% of like viewers at least watch it, or, like at least support it in some way. And it's something that a lot of players will like get together and support, and then like you should be supporting it. Like overall, like Wizards doesn't at all compared to like everything else, right?
How in tune are you with Dota 2 and that?
I don't want Dota 2 at all.
So do you know how the prize pool for the National works?
No, fill me in.
Essentially, players are able to essentially say, "I want to put this much money into a prize pool."
Okay.
They get some goodies in game, but they're also adding themselves to the prize pool.
Okay.
That's why it gets so big. It's not just Valve going, "Here's $25 million." It's everyone else going, "Hey, let's give this tournament some money so people can make the money."
Sure.
And I'm gonna get something out of it from Valve, and as a result, we have a $25 million tournament.
Right.
I don't get why Wizards isn't doing anything like that. There is a reason why the best players in the game, the John Finkels and everyone, Matt Sperl, and there's a reason why they have full-time day jobs.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
That's honestly just kind of pathetic, I want to say. Like, every other esport, I'm pretty sure, like, that esport is their, like, full-time job.
I will say that there are, for every, you know, for every ninja or every millionaire winning esport team there is, there are countless others who have the worst hours, the worst house rules, and the worst pay.
Yeah.
It's not good money. On average EV on esports is terrible.
Okay.
I don't.
But like, I don't know. I feel like Magic especially it doesn't seem plausible to make it your full-time job if you're not doing other things.
It's not. Yeah, you have to do other things. There's a reason why the best players in the world have full-time day jobs. And there's why it's not playing Magic. And for me, if Wizards is serious about it, I'm not saying they have to pay out of their own pocket. But they can't just say we want to be serious. That's like a business saying about a complaint. We take this seriously. Are you familiar with that phrase?
Yeah.
Do you know how shallow that phrase always is?
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Wizards right now. I mean, Wizards saying we want to be into esports is a company going, we take this issue seriously.
Yeah, like personally, I don't think they're actually gonna do effort to get into the esports.
No, they can't. They haven't announced the Grand Prix schedule yet for next year.
Yeah, like
that's embarrassing. That's honestly embarrassing.
It really
is. So blunt and upfront. It's embarrassing. I would like to know where I could be playing Magic next year.
I agree.
I would not mind being on the Pro Tour. We don't know the Grand Prix schedule next year yet. To be fair, we also don't know the Star City Open circuit yet, but
I feel like the Star City does a better job. It's
a night and day difference between the SCG schedule and the GP schedule. We also don't know the PPTQ schedule beyond next season.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty big thing.
Yep. It's hard to like go to events if you can't plan for them.
Yes, a term on Violet here from Andy. Yeah, for what's worth, when people are saying, well, Star City has announced their events either, I feel like they still get the benefit of the doubt for being completely open and transparent with things.
Yeah.
In the same token, there's a reason why they got over the Players' Championship.
Why's that?
It's not profitable. Like, if you want to play a competitive sport, don't play Magic. Or competitive esport.
Feels bad, man.
This is a really awkward hand from Andy. He has a Wazlian Wanderer, a Selfless Spirit, an Aether Vial, and 2 lands. This just screams, I wanted to untap with Aether Vial.
Pretty good Inquisition there.
Yeah.
Also, Andy's hand, again, is pretty awkward.
Yeah. I mean, he has the Rising Canopy sort of filtered out of it. Interesting here. He is not going to play the Selfless Spirit. He's just going to play the second Vial.
No, dude, he wants to accelerate. One of those vials is foiled. The other one's not. It's kind of annoying me right now. But hey, I mean, at least it's an OG foil vial.
Are you going to go out there and discipline him for that?
Definitely not. Dude, he has one more foil Aether Vial than I do, so, I mean.
Same here.
Good for him.
He has more Aether Vials than I do, period. I have 0.
Yeah, I also have 0, but, you know.
This is a pretty ideal start from Brent.
Yeah. Turn 1 hand disruption, turn 2 something good.
Especially turn 1 hand disruption and see, oh, your hand is not the best in the world.
Yep. And hopefully Brent doesn't have like mana leaks here because he's not going to be able to counter. That's perfect start actually. Turn 2 Searcher Scanta, but like mana leaks aren't going to be great here with the Aether Vials. But maybe able to get a Collect the Company later in the game, but.
I mean, if you ask me, I don't think he wants mana leak period in this matchup.
Oh yeah, we saw him side 1 out.
Yeah, and he's just too efficient of a deck.
Yep.
For it to matter. Here's a Drogsoul Captain off of the land. Set to play there. Andy gets a Flash and Selfless Spirit if need be. Brent will draw.
And possibly also another 1 mana Spirit.
I've played with a lot of triggers. Kind of forced to with units.
Alrighty. Scalding turns the land for Brent. Here we see Bolt, Anger the Gods, Call Against Command, Jace the Mind Sculptor, and 1 more land, I believe is what his hand's looking like.
You feel like a very interesting back and forth about.
I definitely want to kill this Drogsoul Captain. I actually like Call Against Man here, right? So we 2 damage to the Drogsoul Captain, and actually he can just respond.
Yeah, that's the awkward thing.
Yeah, it's pretty
Selfless
awkward.
Spirit's there. There's 2 Aether Vials on the battlefield, so Call Against Man, in theory, is really good here.
Well, I mean, it gets rid of the Selfless Spirit anyways, and I think that's probably just worth it still. Brent's down to 13 or 14. I don't know. I think I do like Colligan's Command. Or maybe you go for the discard and do 2 damage to Roxo Captain.
I think whatever you do, you gotta do it end of turn. Or it's so awkward because he knows that Andy can just, whenever he wants, bring in the Selfless Spirit.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, alright, so the best thing for Brent to do is just wait and do it in Andy's upkeep.
Do you think that Brent can sort of goad Andy? He's gonna do it right here.
Yeah, so he's just doing the 2 blow-ups. Selfless Spirit's gonna sack Selfless Spirit to save the Droxel Captain. I think Brent's fine with that because you're in the Aether Vial.
I was about to say, do you...
No discard, okay.
A little awkward, Andy discarding the land that's in his hand.
Yep.
I was going to say, do you feel like Brent wants to try to force Andy to flood the board more for the anger? But
I don't even think Brent needs to right now. So Andy's low on hands, low on cards in hand, and he just played a land, right? And 1 Aether Vial too. Like I don't think he should have gone for the Aether Vial. I think he should have gone for the card in Andy's hand, just rid him of that, and then Andy's top decking. That's right where you want him to be because you have responses, you have answers in hand. You have a bolt, you have Jace, you have anger. And you got lands, like...
Brent was able to pitch the Thoughtseize and draw land number 4.
Yep. I think he already had a land in hand, though, but maybe not. Might have been something else.
A little more climactic when he draws the land he needed, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to play it, though. He is just going to bolt the Droxel Captain.
Yep, I like this. Just getting rid of everything possible. Another response here. We're drawing a card.
Brent hoping for the best. Oh, it's another Selfless Spirit. He drew it up the top again.
I mean, no, like Brent's still fine with this. Like you're still 1 for 1-ing here. Actually, that was the 1 for 2 because he lost his Horizon Canopy.
But man, Andy, 2 top decks in a row for 2 weeks.
I mean, sure, but it's keeping him in a bad position here. It's not getting him ahead.
It's exciting magic happening here. It's exciting.
I mean, sure, I guess it's exciting. You need to keep it alive, but
so here's the interesting thing that unfortunately the viewers will not pick up on. For those that know the concept of tilt, when you're frustrated, you play differently, correct? Sure. Is it safe to say that Brent's a little bit on tilt after that play right there?
I don't know why it would be. He has an Anger of the Gods and a Jason hand. Like, he should potentially just win this game. He looks a little tilted, I guess, but like, I don't know why he would be.
He sounds incredibly tilted. Our streamer Ren agrees. She thinks Brent's a bit tilted too. I mean, I still think Brent is in fantastic shape to win this game.
I'm also not sure if I like just even like Andy's play of doing the second Selfless Spirit. Like, if you let that die, you could rebuild your board and avoid the Anger of the Gods with that Selfless Spirit.
No, I think the Droxel Captain is just way too important.
Is it?
Yeah. We're going to see. Brent has a Jace and an Anger and nothing else going on currently. He's deep in the tank here. I mean, logic says you just play this Jace, correct?
I think so. You have 2 mana left. What else does he have in hand? Is it a bolt?
Anger and...
Oh, no, it's the Anger. Okay, and Tarpit. Yeah, I mean...
This is what I mentioned earlier before, too.
Yep.
Brent just got trying to remove the Droxel Captain. Now he's like, oh, man, what do you have Spell Queller?
Yep. It resolves. No Spell Queller there.
Brent very happy. He just out loud said, sweet. So
I like plus in here. There we go. Let's Fate Seal. So there's a fetch line there, but, you know, whatever. Put it on the bottom. Make him shuffle. I don't know.
It's an awkward thing of, I think he caught the fetch line and went, this doesn't really matter in theory.
If you leave it on top, he's going to fetch. If you put it on the bottom, he might not fetch. I don't know.
Or you can see a good card and just leave it on top and see what your opponent does.
Yeah, and then you make him fetch. That's the ideal, seeing a good card and making him fetch it away. But, you know, doesn't always happen. It's always the best. The best mind games. See, whenever I'm in that situation, I always ask my opponent to leave it on top, and no matter what, I draw it. Unless I actively need the land off my fetch. So exciting to see what you get. Alrighty.
I agree. I always, in those situations, I always choose wrong, too.
Oh no, so like if my opponent's chasing me, I beg for them, please put it on top. I want this card, and I take the card.
Here's a Supreme Phantom. Drew a non-land, it looked like. 1 mana, though. No, it's not to be. It's a Mausoleum Wanderer.
Alright.
It does resolve. Jace's gonna take 5. Jace's gonna die.
See, so the way I see this, if Andy had the Selfless Spirit, he wouldn't be getting all the feels bad from the Anger of the guy that's coming right now. So,
why not?
Alright, so if he has the Droxel Captain, he loses his board, right? But if he has the Selfless Spirit, he doesn't lose the board to the Anger.
Why not?
What do you mean?
They're getting exiled off anger.
It prevents the damage, though.
No, Selfless Spirit makes it indestructible.
Which, yeah, so they don't take damage.
No.
Or does that mean if they
don't
take the
die.
damage? Or what's the exact
They
Oracle
take the
text on
damage
it?
and they get...
Okay, but they don't die. Okay, sure. All right, never mind. So it didn't matter.
Oh, that's right. Anger.
I was like, wait, I counted this up right. You know,
Our stream runner Ren correcting us and Tifa Locker correcting us in chat.
So anger's the replacement effect for it not dying,
it's a
but
replacement effect. That's correct. Yes.
it doesn't die anyways, right?
It's a pretty good follow-up there from Andy. It is the Geist of Saint Draft.
Yeah, so you can replace the death, but they don't die. Yeah, so I mean, if we had Silver Spirit, it'd be better. Guy's still pretty good here, though.
But thinking long and hard, just says, well, we're just going to pass. And he draws his card for the turn. Didn't get the best look at it.
pass, fetch.
We're told it is a land in Andy's hand. Brent's going to fetch, and we're going to see an activation of his Kanta.
Solomon, I think he had the 3 extra.
The sunken ruins, though.
I think he wait.
Players will be responsible for maintaining.
Yeah, so he had it regardless, but he might have just tapped 1 less. There's an opt.
Grabs an op. Basic plane's in his hand. Surprised he's just not opting to cast the op there. Someone pointed out we might see a block with the creeping carpet. I think with that carpet number 2 coming down, we are very likely to see that.
Mm-hmm. Another opt here.
For cash, yeah, I think there's a search of his Kanta in hand, but very quickly bottoms with the op draws. That's a good one. It's a cryptic command.
Yep. Let's check out search for his Kanta.
We got a search. He can still activate creeping carpet, and in turn we have nothing. Fake out. Fake out from Andy. Brent telegraphing that I am blocking this card.
Yep, and he sent it back. So he still has basic plans in hand.
Surprised Brent's not doing his Kanta. He's going to draw a Liliana. No, this is interesting because Brent has...
Plays Lily.
Well, he's going to obviously Edict. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And yeah, as someone mentions in chat, Grixis does not really have...
And we're not
the
attacking
best
with Tar Pit since we want to queue up this cryptic command.
Yeah.
Ooh. You need to stop. Stop doing that.
So I feel like, do you feel like in this situation, Brent is just in the driver's seat? He has a Lily on board. He has his Kanta. He has a cryptic command in hand.
He has flipped that Kanta and normalized Kanta. He's in a perfect position here, and Andy has no creatures on the board.
Do you see any scenario where Andy's able to come back from this?
I'm sure there's some way, like a solid collective company that ends up resolving somehow. But
how does that resolve though? That's
yeah, I said somehow. Like if it really depends on if Brent messes up, I guess is the way that Andy's gonna win this. I like that, activating the Aether Vial, make Brent
send the
worry.
magic activation.
Yeah.
Brent is someone who would worry about it.
Oh yeah.
We see a bolus and 3 lands off the.
Feels bad, man. Goodbye, bolus.
Rip.
Brent said that I'd put my bolus to the bottom.
Draw for turn is an Inquisition of...
Yeah, so Grimag Angler and Tasker can close games as well as Creeping Tar Pit.
2 lands in hand for Andy. Okay, now this is just much easier for Brent. He knows that the coast is completely clear.
We're not plussing Lily though because we value this cryptic a lot.
I figure
he is holding cryptic mana still though.
I figure Andy is fully aware that there is something very good in Brent's hand.
Yeah, if we're not plussing, we pretty much know. And what it costs 4 mana, cryptic command does.
Draw for turns Reflected Mage. That ain't the best draw there from Andy at all.
I mean, yeah, so I would agree, but
you're just gonna play it.
Teferi is pretty good here. Well, I mean, like Liliana's pretty good. Double Searchers, Kansas pretty good. Counter draw is the play here.
Pretty loose there from Brent, but he is so far ahead.
Well, that's not loose.
Draw for the turn. He has a Snapcaster Mage in hand.
So we're playing the line instead of discarding with Lily, which is fine, I guess. But I like getting Lily up to 2. That way we can minus her.
Yeah, exactly.
And also get rid of that last land in Andy's hand, and you don't need the additional land either. All right, 8 to 10.
So it's educational. It's not always just these guys. We had to pull players from the store, and then we picked the feature matches each and every round.
Yeah. So like tonight there's 28 players.
Yes.
So.
Next round we'll have 2 new players.
Yep.
And so on and so on and so on for
and
each and every evening we stream.
Most of the time we try to get different decks on, et cetera, et cetera. And then each different night there's a different like player base. Normally we see a lot of consistent players throughout the week, but there are certainly players, like especially on Fridays, we get a lot more players that don't normally show up on the weekday events.
Yeah, there's always the regulars for Tuesday Modern, for Wednesday Standard, for Thursday Modern, and
especially for
a big swab of people for Friday night.
Yeah, especially for Tuesday as well, because tonight is every Tuesday is the Tuesday Night Modern League.
That is correct.
Where we give out additional cash prizes in addition to the store credit prizes. So that's what a lot of these players are competing for currently, and this is the last week of that. So we will see who wins at the end of tonight. We'll update you guys on that. And also at the end of tonight, we are doing our giveaway for a Rashad Import. The winner gets to choose from Meridian Masks or the Master 25 set, up to them.
How do you win that, by the way?
So you can enter in our giveaway using the command !enter. It costs 20 points out of the number of points you have. You can see how many points you have by using the command !points, and then you can get up to 10 tickets. And each time you enter, you get 1 ticket, right?
How do you earn those points, though?
Earn those points. You can earn those through watching the stream. Every 10 minutes you watch our stream, you get 5 points. If you're subscribed to our channel, though, through Twitch, you'll get 10 points for every 10 minutes you watch. So that's a minute. And then if you subscribe, whether it's Twitch Prime, normal subscription, anything, you'll get 500 points. And if you follow, you get 50 points. And then for every 1 bit you cheer, you get 1 point. So
level 4 judge, you can go to topdeckproductions.com, click the link that says Modern League. That'll tell you the standings.
I believe we'll pull it up at the end of this round.
Yeah, we can pull them up at the end of this round.
To just go over it real quick.
There's a link for you directly, from our stream runner.
Yeah, there you go.
Faithful stream runner.
All right, Creeper Tarpit still beating. Down to 7 for Andy.
Slowly but surely.
Yep.
Andy's draws have not been kind to him at all today.
Yeah, definitely not. Not a single Coco. All match.
0 Cocos.
I imagine he's got to be playing. Andy loves Collect the Company. He plays in all of his combo decks.
Collect the Company is a very good Magic card, to be fair.
Oh yeah, it's such a good Magic card. Especially in like this matchup, if you can resolve a Collect the Company, you're cruising.
Brent's just going to pass it back after the attack. Andy's draw for turn. This could be Andy's last turn because Brent has the 2 card Tarpits, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, so he's a double Tarpit, so this could be Andy's last. Brent might choose to play it safe, though, and there's Collect the Company. Brent has double Fatal Push, so he's in a good spot here. And he also has a low down on minus, so he should be good.
Let's see what Andy picks up here.
Not looking too hot.
Does anything even matter at this point? Because Tarpit's just coming through.
Tarpits can't block. Or can't be blocked. My apologies. And there's also a low down on minus and a Fatal Push, so has Hex Roof, so that's no good. Alright, activating Search. There's an Anger of the Gods. We're taking that, slamming it down on the table. And this game is over. The game just came to a close real quick, yeah.
Team Lockhart with a good point in chat. If control deck lets you resolve any format of the spell into shrugs and says,
sure. Well, so again,
you're in trouble.
So the Grixis deck is more focused on removal spells than it is counter spells. I believe you play probably around 4 Cryptic Commands, maybe just 3, and a Mana Leak was what we saw at Brent's. But yeah, so I mean, like, you can let the Coco resolve, and here we see the Anger of the Gods to clean things up, though. And we're actually not ending the game here. We're playing it safe, going for the Anger, and then attack with Tarpit, put him down to 1. All right, and that's it.
Maybe getting some more on camera time, but anyway, that'll end up doing it. Brent Rogers.
Can we pull up those league standings actually real quick? We'll go
2 games to 1. Brent Rogers victorious in this match.
Yep.
We'll pull